Yes. Hey. Hey. Not bad. Welcome. Welcome back to the Norwegian Woods once again. I'm your host, Ulf Happiness Gray from WhiteWolfAlchemy.com with sound this time. Hello, Mintu. Good to have you with me. Yeah, that was a little derailer to not have sound, it's but yeah, let's tap in together to that higher self stream of consciousness. Take a deep breath in through the nose, one for mind. Hold it at the top for 1, 2, and one for body, in through the nose. Hold it at the top and nice and easy. And one for spirit. Pack it in. And a little bit of sound there. All right. Yeah, nice and aligned. Just feel my voice changing immediately. It's just awesome. Yeah. So I had an interesting session with someone from the collective, from the family, and mission and the twin flame mission was coming up a lot for her. And, thoughts, ideas, worries, beliefs surrounding the mission. And I thought that was an interesting topic to talk about, to share a bit about, because a lot of us have, I know I did, have a lot of preconceived notions and ideas about what that should look like. That I was supposed to do this with somebody, and if I wasn't doing it with somebody, or if who I was connected to did not want to do exactly what I wanted to do, these kinds of things. So, first and foremost, what is the twin flame mission? We talk about the graduate soul more so than a twin flame, because the graduate soul, it's a much better label for the experience that you're having. And so for the mission, you standing in your divine blueprint, you clearing away all your introjections from your bloodline, from society, all these shoulds, must, have to, supposed to, all these things that you ideas of what you should be doing in your mind, especially when it pertains to family and society. Get a 9 to 5, get a family, white picket fence, get in debt, all that stuff. But we come in with a greater purpose than that, which is to share our blueprint, share our frequency, our vibration, our consciousness, most of all. And can you do that alone? Yes. Can you heal all those things Yes, go to a therapist, um, go to a good coach. Therapy is better, of course. Go work on the things that you are carrying from your childhood. Um, when you're being harsh on yourself, very hard on yourself, most of us are, saying, I should be doing this, or I have to do this, or I must do this, or I'm supposed to be doing this. And it's not what you want to do, but it's something that you're programmed to believe that you have to do. Those are the things that you need to work on. And those are the things you can work on solo. You don't need to have your um, soul connection there to work on those things. Um, same with same with your soul gifts. You can extract those talents, gifts, and trades, and share those without having your significant soul connection with you in that work. I have so many colleagues who have been doing this work solo, and soul connections have come in and out to kind of hold that other vibration, to hold the masculine vibration and consciousness while they have been doing all this healing work. um, Meridian energetics, Stargate, um, and making music, sharing their voice and consciousness, whatever it may be that they have been doing from soul, and sharing their blueprint. And that, is basically what we're here to do. There's no hocus pocus to it. You are your mission. You are. You've always been your mission since you came here. Mission began in childhood, as Mel Brand said. Mission began in childhood, and looking back, I see that for myself. My mission began in childhood, taking on all these patterns, programs, dysfunctional traits, and these introjections, and all these things, right? And using my frequency, my vibration, my consciousness in the places that I was in, being the heart of the place that you're at, walking the path of heart. So, you've been doing this since you came here. There's no not doing the mission. So it doesn't matter where you work. You could be working at the canning factory and you'd still be doing your graduate soul mission. You know, you could be a radio host and still do your mission. You could be um, a masseuse. You could be a healer. You could be a doctor, a nurse. You could be a policeman and still do some kind of mission as a graduate soul. You just be the heart and the elevated consciousness of the place that you're in, and speak from that frequency and that vibration, and not be, a lower vibrational um, being, you know? So you are probably doing it right now, whatever you are doing, wherever it is that you are in the layers of society. You're probably being the heart of the place that you're in. You're probably sharing your heart consciousness and your elevated mindset, um, frequency, and vibration, your thoughts, and your feelings, your frequency, and your vibration. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, so that's what we're here to share. So when I'm on here just talking to you, sharing my consciousness and my ideas and my experiences with my voice and my frequency and vibration. I'm templating you guys and sharing my energy, my frequency, my vibration in such a way that it's spreading out into the matrix. Right now I know it's being received in Finland by um a member of our community watching live right now, for example. So with the help of the internet we can really spread this consciousness out and share. um so we have created a field. Right now there's a field between me and Mintu to Finland, and we have spoke together so many times, that we have a connection, a feel for one another. And when she is watching me on video like this, the the heart is a beautiful tool. So you're connected to your friends and to your community through your heart space, through your heart center. So she's receiving that in Finland. So right now my energy is in Finland. Her energy is here with me in Norway, because I'm aware that she's watching, because she's um, commenting and writing back to me. So I can see and know. So I get an image of her in my my third eye. Um, I know her energy signature very well. So that's a good way that we can share. A lot of people don't know these things. You know, they go up on OnlyFans and they unconsciously connect to hundreds, thousands, some even hundreds of thousands and millions of people energetically and sexually, and kind of invite all those energies into your bedroom, which I think is not a good idea. But each to their own. Whatever, we're here to learn. It's not, you know, I'm not here to grade um, people's experiments and experiences, but I wouldn't do that personally. Um, you see the toll it takes on rock stars, for example. They're they got a crowd of 100,000, and they're having to contain all that energy, right? No wonder a lot of them are on drugs and have to kind of filter when they're severely introverted and empathic and emotional creatures, and then they have to contain 100,000 roaring crowd members, fans, who often are drinking beer or smoking, doing drugs, some kind of thing themselves, and it's just amplified. Um, that's one thing. Um, Same with the movie stars and all that. They have all this energy directed at them, uh, and it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult to like contain all that energy that's directed at you. So you kind of have to self medicate or help yourself in some fashion. I totally get it. Now I get it more than ever. I really didn't understand it when I was, looking up to these role models as a young kid. Oh, like, why would they? But now I get it. I get it. I completely get it. It would have to take a lot of spiritual training, in order to be able to contain all those people within your energy field. So you can completely 100% do the twin flame or graduate soul mission on your own. You can do that solo. Um, Find a good therapist, find a good healer, read and train yourself as best as you can. That's the best thing. Um, and then get help when you know what it is that you're up against, know what it is that you're working with, clearing out your traumas, your dysfunctions, all these things, and becoming a better version of you. That's going to serve you in the long run, anyways, when you do come together with a soul to soul connection and you get to do this work together in a shared unified field, which amplifies and distorts all your dysfunctions and traits, anyways. So it just becomes more of a shit show. But if you can do that on your own, what better way to prepare for sacred union and truly experience something even more sacred? Because most of us are experiencing a shit show of a sacred union the first 5 years, trying to navigate the amplified, distorted dysfunctions, traumas, and what have you. It's not easy, not easy at all. The best of us have lived out of their suitcase for at least 2 to 3 years, preparing to leave at any time. you know. And that goes for watch Melanie Cole, uh, two of the top dogs of the community the last 20 years, um, and how they had it coming into their sacred union. It was, they were living out of their suitcase, um, being prepared to leave at any moment because it was, shit show, absolutely traumatizing. Um, and it is hard work. We chose to incarnate into the most heavily afflicted bloodlines, to use that phrase. Afflicted afflictions. It's the bloodlines with the most afflictions. you know so um we have a lot of work to do, and we can do a lot of that work on our own, for sure. We can do a lot of that work on our own. As far as, um, am I doing mission if I'm not doing anything that's creative? Absolutely. I bet you're creative in that mundane type of work, anyways. You're still bringing your colors, you're still bringing your flair, your signature, your creative mind, your eccentricity, your, all the things that make you you. You're still bringing that to that workplace. So you could be working, like I said, the most mundane jobs, and you'll still be doing your mission because you are the heart of that workplace. You are the heart of the place that you're in. And so you are your mission. There's nothing you need to figure out. There's nothing you need to do. There's nowhere you need to go, no portals you need to open, no crystals you need to activate, and all that fancy ass, schmancy ass, starseed mumbo jumbo. All right? I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but it's true. There's nothing you need to do. You are the starseed portal. You are the portal. There's nowhere you need to go. You are there. You're at the source of creation. You are the portal. There's nothing you need to activate. There's nowhere you need to go. All right. You are that portal. So let people come to you and experience a portal energetically, and then you can help them jump through an imagined portal in the backyard or, um, in your living room or, somewhere. Doesn't need to be uh, Chichen Itzu or in Egypt or anywhere special in the world. You don't need to go to Angkor or Ankh, whatever, all that stuff. Don't worry about it. You are absolutely fine where you are. You are the portal. So that's one. You hold a very special frequency in you. And the more you clear, the more you heal the patterns, the programs, the templates, the addictions and habits, and become a person of power. That power is going to be felt. That power is going to be, you know, um, something that people tap into and feel and can shift them and shift their assemblage point just from being in your presence. You kind of share your consciousness, you share that energy vibration, your thoughts, and people shift. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? You're sharing some ideas with me that are truly transformational. These concepts and ideas I had it's like I've taken a psychedelic, and it's just like, whoa. So yeah, and you are that. You are a freaking entheogenic drug to the collective, so to speak. Wow, I found a way to say that without being, without it sounding arrogant. Because when you share that kind of information from that place, often you can become, condescending. I know I've been 10 years back. I did not have the humility to share the information that was coming through me in a humble way, always in a good way, for it to land and be received well. So it's a learning curve. We're all here to make mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. So allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be beautifully human. Mintu says, I'm on this mission, don't really know where this road leads, but I feel it calling in my soul and my being. I cannot do regular relationships anymore. I'm not willing to sacrifice or compromise this calling. Yeah, I know that one. I tried so many times. I was so sick and tired of, walking this road and having so much sexual energy, having so much potency and potential, and not having anyone to share it with. But then I realized I tried a regular relationship once without the soul to soul connection behind it. And I just got so bored. It was like, oh my God, I have all these thoughts and ideas and things I want to talk about and share, and but it didn't land in the other person. They had no idea what I was talking about. They had no idea. And it was just lonely. And then when they were talking all the time, they were repeating themselves so much that their the things that they shared became annoying. I was just like, okay, okay, well, why are you saying this for the fifth or sixth time? Are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna act, or are you just gonna talk about it until the cows come home? And so I couldn't do that either until you're not alone. But then again, I had another connection, a few connections before my wife, before Mary, and these connections, it was always so powerful, so activating, in the DNA, in your body, in your cells, the push and the pull, all these energetics that come with a soul to soul connection, kundalini energy, everything's firing on all engines, and it'll take you to the other side of the world if you let it. It's a little bit more dangerous for you ladies out there, but for me as a guy, I would go there in an instant and all of a sudden find myself in a sometimes in a dangerous place, in a dangerous part of town with some pretty crazy hippie type of people who I knew were not, not grounded, not necessarily good for me either. And just anything can happen type of thing. And I was okay, well, I'm here to learn. I know I'm being divinely guided, so I just had to trust that I was protected. And yeah, when it was no longer alignment, then I just went on about my business. Fortunately, I had some soul family that were ready and able to pick me up and take me from one state to the other, like literally one American state to another state, but also a state of consciousness to another state of consciousness, if you know what I mean. And then lick my wounds and prepare for the next one. The next connection came in and took me off again. And now I've been in the same connection for 6 years. And yeah, it's still not easy. We still have these kinks, but um, when you have very, very two very, very strong-minded and high energy people, powerful, you're gonna you're gonna be challenged left and right, and then you add a couple of kids to it. Your twin flame stuff is not easy. It never will be easy, and if easy is what you want, then get a regular relationship. If challenging is what you want and you can deal with that, then go for the soul to soul connection. Sovereign soul consciousness says sometimes being alone is what we need to prepare us. Union with self first, as you always say. Can't commit to union with another if you can't make it work with yourself first. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So if you're in union with self, you're content. There's nothing, you don't crave. Maybe you get a little bit of spiritual puberty is no joke. You're going to be hornier than you were when you were a teenager. When that kundalini is firing and you're coming into spiritual maturity, spiritual adulthood, then you're going to have spiritual puberty. You're you're gonna have a fire in the groin, like anything you've ever experienced, and you're gonna want to share that. Higher self will probably keep you from becoming I can't say that word, but um, yeah, that one. So higher self is going to keep you from being being promiscuous. That's the word, right? So higher self is going to keep you from being promiscuous. Um, so whenever you try to, get together with somebody, you use Tinder or whatever it is, you know, to hook up, some kind of hookup app. Something is always gonna, you know, um, make it hard for you to make that happen. At least it did in my case. So I was not able to share myself um, with something that was not of a soul to soul connection. Um, so yeah. Studio Tracy says I was a live wire for years, not knowing how to ground the energy. I ended up developing a bad case of cancer. I'm okay now, but be careful out there with that, with what you take in, food, media, all of it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you're okay now, Tracy. Sometimes that's something that will assist us in graduating, actually, a disease, diagnosis, some kind of health challenge that will force you to isolate and force you into some kind of alchemical forging um, where you will be forever changed. I know most of us here probably had that, um, where you kind of became your own doctor, your own herbalist, your own um, authority of medicine. Um, so that's usually one of the things that uh, forces us to go into a deep process um, and other things in life. Of course, loss of a relationship, um, losing someone close to you. Um, yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys today. You are doing your mission solo. You can do all of that work completely fine on your own. Share your consciousness. If you're in divine union with self and the mystical, you'll you'll miss nothing. You'll be content and happy, super creative, um, and just focus on that for a while. Make your art, um, write music, um, write poetry, dance, do whatever it is that you are doing as a creative expansion. Um, and yeah, if it feels hard or difficult or incomprehensible, then there's something that we're doing wrong, and it's usually not what we're thinking that we're doing wrong. It's usually in the thinking itself that it's wrong, that we're thinking about it completely wrong, or we're overthinking it, or making it more difficult than it needs to be. Like Mel would say, this whole process is as easy as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but A lot of people have 100 different ways of messing up a peanut butter sandwich, right? So keep it simple, and there's hardly any way you can go wrong. Truly, you're just being you are doing the mission simply by being you. And I think that's the mantra of the graduate soul mission. Simply be yourself, and that's all that you can do. It's all that you need to do, really. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to work with me, White Wolf Alchemy is where it's at, and you can find me there through the holiday seasons. I love being guiding light through the dark. So you'll find me up here on my soapbox a lot more through December, January, and February than usual. February, I learned that it's called, not February, but I'm a Norwegian, so excuse me. February. Yeah, I'm working on that one. So you'll find me here through the winter months and the holiday season a lot more than usual. And I look forward to working with you if you feel called to. And stay tuned. Stay connected. Stay connected. Always connect with yourself first. And you do that through your creative expansion any way that you see fit. Dance your way to ascension. Sing your way to ascension. And draw and paint and, walk in nature. All that beautiful stuff brings you closer to the divine and the mystical. And that's all you need to do. Don't make it hard. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for helping me sort out this sound issue. Me too. And yeah. Talk to you all soon. Have a beautiful, I would say, førjulstid, we say in Norwegian. It means pre-Christmas time, like holiday season. Yeah. Make that beautiful. Light some candles and be the light in the dark. Talk to you soon. Peace.